What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, Dwayne Nettles, aka Mr. Nettles. I'm gonna toss it to my co-host.
What's good, y'all? This your boy Jose Rivera, you know what I'm saying? About to pass it to my other homie on the bottom. Let's get it.
Yo, it's your boy Maximilian, Max Speed, man. You know the vibes, man. What's up?
All right, collectively we make the Last of Hip Hop podcast. Coming at you today with episode 14, Freestyle Edition Part 2. Tonight we're just gonna be tossing some topics out from the week. Nothing super structured, just organic conversation amongst brothers. We're going live on Facebook today as well as this is being recorded. So shout out to the supporters who are on with us as we record this live. But we're gonna hop right into it, like we always do. So first off, we're gonna hit you guys with what are you wearing? Who wants to take the lead on it first?
Take the lead, man. You know,
Go ahead,
I got a consistent wardrobe going on. You know, with the LA. You know what I'm saying? LA hat, man. nothing too extra, man. That's all. You know, keep it simple, man.
All right, so Max with the LA fitted. Well, since I'm gonna hop in next. We have a slight theme going on. So Max rocking the LA fitted tonight. I decided to rock in support of my guys who I've been supporting this entire podcast.
Oh man,
who I've been riding with the entire time. Look. I'm gonna talk now. This is the time the Lakers talk. Lakers, we don't talk until the conference finals, so we can talk now. That's why the fandom is turning up tonight. So we rocking the Los Angeles Lakers, the throwback edition. Had to pull it out to my boy, Shaquille O'Neal, the 34. That's why I'm rocking this tonight. Shout out, created by Abra for the headband. My Beats by Dre headphones, my specs. Couple wooden chains tonight. My normal bracelets. And fit would not be complete without the kicks. So tonight I pulled out something I ain't wore in a while. So I pulled out the Jordan 7 DMP pack, the Orlando Magic colorway, the pinstripe tongue, the Jordan dropping the 60 plus, the stats on the inside. I ain't wore these in a minute, so I pulled them out tonight for the show. So we're keeping my theme of a different pair of kicks every week going. So we're 14 weeks strong so far. All right, but nothing crazy. Kept it light. The guns out tonight. The gun show. Gun show is in the building. So I'm gonna toss it to Jose.
What's good, y'all, man? You know, it's King Jose Rivera, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all can see the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Nothing forced, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got pulled out the Montclair, you know what I'm saying, today, you know what I'm saying? You know, I never wore it, you know what I'm saying? But I was just like, you know, let me pull this out and just, you know, see how it is, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got the watch for the fitness, you know what I'm saying? So, I forgot about these kicks right here. I had these kicks, you know what I'm saying? The KD joints right here.
Did we see with the KDs?
Yeah, got the KDs, you know what I'm saying, with the orange, you know, so. But let's go ahead and get to it, guys. Let's get
into it. Let's get into it. I'm about to start a new segment. So after we do what are you wearing, because it's a theme. So after what are you wearing, we're gonna hop into Mr. Nettles, what are you drinking? So so tonight what we're drinking, we're bringing back the wine. We got the Dark Horse Double Down tonight, the drink of choice. Shout out to my brother. Got this for my homie. Celebrating episode 14, celebrating the live stream being back. I'm gonna take a shot for my brother Jose. So it's only right. We're gonna drink the Jose. So we're gonna take a shot for my brother Jose tonight.
I'm gonna take a shot with you, bro.
My boy has a hot date tonight, so I'm taking a shot in my man's honor. We're gonna toast to my guy.
Listen, man.
Max got a shot of the water. I see you, Max.
I'm pulling up in the whip. That's all
we're gonna listen. So listen, before we even get started, toast to the brothers, toast to the guys. Much success tonight on the podcast and my man's date. So cheers to my brothers, my bros. No, I'm gonna tap the glass. Tap the glass. I'm tapping it. Tap it. Wrong way. Wrong way. Wrong way. No, you gotta tap it. I'm toasting you. You see it? There you go. Bam. All right. Shots to life. All right. There we go. Woo.
I like that.
All right, we're gonna do that every week.
Let me get back to my lemon water. You know what I'm saying? Promote good health.
Oh yeah, I forgot this. The red cup. Whenever you see me with the red cup is always Pepsi. Don't be fooled.
Y'all can see me.
All right, let's get with it. Let's jump right into it. So we freestyle tonight. So what we gonna talk about first, fellas? Should we talk NBA?
Listen, man, let's go right into it. Meat and potatoes, bro. Let's get it.
Let's hop into the NBA then. So, like I've been saying this entire podcast, I've been rocking with the Lakers from jump. Now that my Lakers are in the conference finals, I feel it's only appropriate. I pull my gear out and we turn up prime LA time. And you know what? I've been saying it all along. Every series I've been right so far. So I'm gonna go with it again. LA in 5. We won game 1 already. Soundly went over Denver. So what are our guys' picks for the Western Conference Finals? Now, y'all know how I'm rolling already. You already know how I'm rolling.
I think LA about to go ahead and I don't know about a sweep, but they definitely gonna come out the West. So as far as the East, got Miami up 2-0. They playing right now. Aren't they playing right now? Or
they on now. They on now. Yeah,
they on right now. So that's gonna be interesting. You know what I'm saying? But I think I got LA coming out the West for sure.
LA's definitely coming to the West. What you got, Jose?
Listen, man, I got
you beat on my Lakers
in 7. I got Nuggets in 7. Hold on, listen, and let me explain.
7 what?
Listen, 7. Listen, you
you
not allow me to talk. Come on now. Listen, show some professionalism and some respect.
You show some professionalism and respect.
Listen, man. Listen. When King Jose talk, everybody else gotta be quiet. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, excuse me. Let me shut up. I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah. So listen,
I'm gonna sit my wife.
I'm picking the Nuggets in 7, and the reason why I'm just saying I'm picking them in 7. We've seen them beat the Clippers. We've seen them beat the Jazz. We've seen that. We listen. Murray, if he wants to go off the field, he can. And Jokic is a very, very skilled and dangerous center. I watched game 1. They kind of fell apart towards the end of the third quarter and fourth quarter, and I just felt like it was because of the fact that they had played 7 games. They played 2 series, 7 games. And the Lakers have only played 2 5-series games. But it's going to go 7, in my personal opinion.
Listen. Even if it did go 7, the Nuggets do not have enough to compete with LeBron and AD. Listen, number one, it's not going 7, number one. But you just compared the Los Angeles Lakers to the Utah Jazz and the LA Clippers with no playoff P and Kawhi switching off the best man versus Dallas. Like, come on, what do we have here? What are we talking here? 7 games? Nuggets in 7? Let me ask you this: do you really want to see the Nuggets in the NBA Finals?
I don't want to see the Lakers in the NBA Finals.
But no, that's not my question. Do you really want to see the Nuggets in the NBA Finals? So you're talking ideally. I wouldn't mind
Jamal Murray getting the championship.
You're talking ideally Nuggets, Boston, NBA Finals. Nuggets, Miami Heat, NBA Finals. This is going to be like the lowest rating NBA Finals ever, bro. Really?
Man, listen.
See, that's your problem. Your problem is, I'm going to talk to you with my pinky finger. Your problem is you want to put LeBron on this pedestal.
I'm not putting anybody on pedestal. Listen, that's your problem. I'm talking about the Lakers. I'm talking about the team.
You want to put Buddy on a pedestal. You see what I'm saying? And that's not. Listen, you're dealing with a different team. You're dealing with a hungry team. dealing with a team
So
that
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So was Portland not a hungry team?
Portland was a hungry team, but they had
Okay.
injuries. They had injuries.
So what?
Dame Lillard. You're listen. I'm giving you facts. Dame Lillard was injured.
Oh, but Dame was gonna put up 60 game 1 and 2, right?
He was injured.
Know why?
He was injured.
I'd be injured carrying that team around too. Carrying that team around all season. Of course.
The Rockets.
Rockets.
They had no big.
What about the Rockets?
They had no big men. And Russell.
Jose, you've been saying we didn't have big men all season. So a team with no big men.
Y'all do have big men. I've always said y'all got big men. Y'all
so now we got big men. Now we got big men.
Y'all don't have guards.
Now we got big men.
You don't have guards.
You said our big men weren't elite. You said our big men weren't elite.
Caldwell Pope. You got Rondo.
Hey, Rondo torched Houston.
What are you talking about?
He don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on.
Because first you said we didn't have big men. We can't guard Jokic. Now we got big men all of a sudden.
Listen, Wayne. Listen. It must be two sides, bro.
It must be two sides.
I don't recall that.
You don't recall rooting for the Clippers
I don't recall that.
Listen, this man has been bandwagoning.
Listen, man, put it like this, man. LA coming out the West.
LA coming out the West. 5 games.
LA, whoever comes out the East, they're gonna spank. I mean, just what it is. You know, Clippers.
Spank.
You know,
what?
Listen.
Spank.
The Clippers. The Clippers were supposed to be the team to do something. You know, to maybe come out the West and beat the Lakers, but that didn't happen.
The untrained eye thought the Clippers.
You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen. That kind of like
better.
that was going to be the championship right there in the West. Listen, right there.
As soon as Lou Williams snuck out the bubble, I knew the Clippers weren't doing nothing.
You know what I'm saying? That really would have come down to forget everything else. That was the championship right there. But your Clippers, selling wolf tickets and
they selling pipe dreams. What they did, what they sold.
You know what I'm saying? So Pandemic P and Kawhi. I forgot why Kawhi.
Kawhi. Listen, Kawhi right now saying, "Kawhi, did I go to the Clippers?"
Yeah, there you go. You should have stayed in Toronto over all that, right? You should have stayed in Toronto over all that.
Kawhi, did I leave Toronto? That's what you should be saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Why did I do that?
And try to repeat. You dig what I'm saying? So, that's where that is, man. I got the Lakers winning. I got the Lakers winning, taking it all.
Lakers in 5. Let's look at the East real quick. How we feel? Game 3 is on currently. Miami
is on right now, and Boston is up.
What's the live score? What's the score?
I'm waiting. It's on a commercial right now with me.
All right, so we actually got a live. We have a live game going now. Well, how do we feel about the series?
Listen, man, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have, my podcast brothers, you guys pick hours during the NBA, playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be able to keep up with my stats.
You're right. Who coming out East though? Who you got coming out East? Miami and Boston.
I want to say Boston.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm rolling Miami. Game 1 and 2, it don't look good. It don't look good for Boston.
Game 3, Miami. Miami's down.
They down, but I'm saying like I just feel like Miami. Listen, and I said it when I made my picks. Right, I put Miami as my 5th pick, and they were my wild card. But just because the way they've been playing, not only all season, but the way they've been playing in this bubble, that's gonna be a scary team to see, regardless of where you're seeing them at. So I don't know if Boston's gonna be able to come back down 2-0 and take it from them. Jimmy hungry.
But you gotta think Gordon Hayward's playing this game too now.
But still, listen. Gordon Hayward is a non-factor at this point right now.
Whoa, he's a non-factor.
And that's not disrespecting him, but in terms of what Jimmy Butler's doing right now, in terms of what Jimmy Butler's doing, in terms of what Jimmy's doing, Gordon Hayward's a non-factor, bro.
I disagree with that.
Non-factor. They might pull out 2 games, maybe. I'm going Miami in 6.
Miami is 6? No, it's
Miami
going
6.
7.
I don't see it going 7.
It's definitely going 7.
I don't see it go. Listen, it goes 7 if Boston finds a way to tie the series 2-2. It may go 7. If Miami gets that third win before Boston gets that second win, it's no way it's going 7. They're going to finish in 6. That's so my pick. I see. Ideally, I want to see Boston and LA in the finals, but I think it's going to be Miami, LA in the finals. That's what I'm rolling with. That's what I'm rolling with. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight.
76-58. Boston's up.
76-58.
Yep.
Yeah. So they got
See,
a good little lead.
I think that series might go to 7.
It's a good little lead right now. It's a good little lead right now. So we're gonna see how the chips fall. So while we're on the topic of NBA, let's look at the NBA awards. Let's look at the NBA awards.
Okay.
We'll start with let's start with Rookie of the Year. So Rookie of the Year, Ja Morant. How are we feeling about the boy Ja? SC native.
On his own.
My SC brethren. Are we in agreement with Ja? I think it was a lot.
Fabulous season. But you know what's crazy about that? But you know they were trying to, when Zion came back and Zion was doing what he was doing, they trying to, like people was pushing this, to see if Zion was gonna win it all. Like he just came back, like halfway through the season.
Which another SC brethren. If Ja would have played, if Zion would have played the whole season, the way he played.
Oh yeah, Zion would
when he came back. He probably took it.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
But playing the whole season as consistently as he did.
But they were trying to give it to him though. They were like trying to.
That's hype though. That's hype though. And not to say Zion isn't amazingly athletically talented and that he doesn't have the skill, but I think that's the hype of what everybody knows and expects from him. Ja was kind of an under the radar guy coming in.
Yeah, but we live in a hype,
We do.
Generation,
but
like everything
at the same time, though, even with hype, like when you have a solid season, the caliber that Ja had, the way he came in and like transitioned to NBA seamlessly from a smaller university at that, like that to me that was undeniable. Like you gotta give it to the kid,
right?
Gotta give it to the kid. So I'm looking forward to what Ja has. Really, what Ja and Zion have to give in the league. So we'll see.
Well, I was watching the JJ. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was watching the JJ Redick podcast, and he asked, Kevin Durant, like, how do you see Ja panning out? Like, he's one of the best point guards coming, in the future. It was like, all he got to do is just, get a consistent jump shot. And, you know what I'm saying? Because he got like all the tools right now, you know what I mean, to be that guy, you know what I mean? In the years coming. So man, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how he pan out, you know what I'm saying? And staying healthy. He has to stay healthy.
That's a big one too. Yeah. Health is always going to be the biggest factor long term though. You know that.
You know what I'm saying?
Because think about this too. We've seen plenty of guys win Rookie of the Year and just kind of fall off the map as far as like not even productivity, just like as far as like the accolades, so to speak. You got Michael Carter Williams, like who had an amazing rookie season, and then just kind of reverted back into like a role player position. People kind of forgot about him. Tariq Evans, amazing rookie season.
A lot of dudes.
There's a lot of cats. Come in with a lot of potential that just kind of, for whatever reason, doesn't quite pan out.
Dennis Smith Jr.
But did he win Rookie of the Year?
Did he win?
I don't think he won Rookie of the Year. But I'm saying he came in with a lot of hype, though. He came in with a lot of hype. But I don't think he won Rookie of the Year.
I don't know if he won Rookie of the Year, though.
No, I don't think he won Rookie of the Year. But he was, he came in with a nice. He came in with some hype. But he with D Smith, he still. I think D Smith's still trying to find his way. You know what I'm saying? And I think
now with Dennis too. Like Dennis has also been plagued by being on pretty bad teams.
Yeah.
Like because the man playing in New York right now. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, because think about with him and Dallas, you got Luka coming in, so it's like,
Yep,
you got to move over. You know what I'm saying? Luka's
exactly.
that guy.
Then he got shipped to New York, and we know
yeah,
New York. We already know that situation.
yeah. So it's
He's
kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like, some guys just have to, find the right niche. You know what I'm saying? You have to find the right find the right system, and all that.
right. That's big. That's big. All right. So let's look at. Well, since we're on topic NBA, me and Max were discussing this earlier. My team's star player son was caught on social media blowing some tree. So how we feel about
Yes.
Bronny James being caught on social media smoking weed? Yeah.
Oh man, I Bronny can't do that. Bronny can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Bronny got to be, smarter. Smarter than that. His dad being the face of the NBA. It's it might look cool to like a to some. You know what I mean? But in hindsight, it's not. It's not a good look.
I think the biggest thing is I don't think anybody's upset at LeBron James Jr. smoking weed per se.
Yeah.
I just think, with the platform you have and the
Yeah.
eyes that are on you and this, how people, you just know how people view things, right?
Right.
For him to be on social media doing it, it's going to put his name out there as possibly which it shouldn't be necessarily as problematic,
Right.
And then too, I hope this doesn't happen, but I can see it happening. I can see how people try to some rhyme or reason are going to try to find a way to put this on LeBron.
Yeah, of course. People are already starting to do that.
LeBron's
and my
parenting.
thing is this, though.
LeBron's parenting.
And I brought up a point to you earlier. LeBron. You ever notice like with people that played in the league and their sons or their offspring? You know what I mean? Like they may not be as good as their father. Some, look at Kobe. Kobe was, he was better than his dad. But it's not a lot of Kobe's in that
It's also
aspect.
true.
Look at Jordan's sons. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to think too, like how many NBA players have had a superstar father to come and play? That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if Bronny James makes it to the NBA, as far as I can recollect from my memory, he would be the first child of a NBA superstar to play in the league.
Oh.
Is there another one? Well, Penny Hardaway Jr.
Or you mean Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Tim Hardaway Jr. Excuse me. Tim Hardaway
Well,
Jr.
I don't think. Well, Tim Hardaway.
Tim was a star. He was a star.
He was a star, but his son didn't play in the All-Star.
That's what I'm saying though. So as far as like being the son of a star, like a star in the NBA, we haven't seen that too many times. That's it. Tim Hardaway Jr. is probably the first person I can think of that had it.
I'm trying to think. Who else?
Because I wouldn't consider Glenn Robinson a star per se. Like Glenn Robinson Jr.
Right.
He made it to the league.
Yeah. It's few.
It's very few superstars that I can recall that like who had a son make it to the league.
Yeah. And
so
if
Bronny makes it,
and that brings up my other point, because we see all these other we see stars' children. They might start off playing basketball, but then go into other, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what if that happens to Bronny? You know what I'm saying? Like, say if Bronny wants to do other things, like he just picked up a deal.
Oh yeah, with the Twitch deal, yeah.
And that could be at jeopardy too.
What's that?
That Twitch deal.
That Twitch, they could drop him.
They really could.
Yeah.
They literally could be like, oh, you know what? Did you guys see what happened to Ty Lawson?
I saw that too.
What
He got banned. But it was stupid though. I saw that too.
Dumb. So he got banned. He got banned from China basketball because he said that Asian women have cheeks. And they don't. Yeah. Like, bro, like he was like, yo, like I never realized that Asian women be having cheeks like this, and they banned him, bro. Like he was in a strip club, and I guess some chick was like, she was twerking on him or something like that, and he like made a video. Oh my god, bro!
But you gotta think
my
how strict
God.
China
Hold up.
is, though. You know
Hold
what I'm
up.
saying?
Oh my, I'm ready. Hold up.
You
Hold
know
up.
what
Hold
I think they did? They
Yeah,
retaliated when Trump banned TikTok. That was the retaliation.
Oh
That's
man.
yo, how you?
that
But that's
that's the
crazy, though.
retaliation. We don't
He
want no
said,
American playing, bro.
he
We
said,
getting you out of here.
he said Asian women
That's
got
crazy.
cheeks.
Yes, bro.
They got banned.
I
Yeah, he
saw
put
him
that on
trending
his
on
live.
Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he trending on Twitter
Oh, he
for?
put on Twitter.
Oh
No,
my god,
no.
yes, bro.
I did see it was trending. I didn't see why though.
I was like, I wanted to know why, so I clicked on it, and I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Oh man, hold up, boy. Oh my God.
But China,
Well, listen.
China's what a
Hey,
communist is.
listen. I know something right now. I can never go play CBA ball then because I'm like,
But isn't China like communist?
it is, it is, it is, it is.
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got no heat with China. I ain't got no beef with China, bro. That's all
You can't
Trump.
say nobody
But
got
that's
cheeks though.
absurd, though.
Cheeks.
That's
Bro, I ain't got
absurd. That just
listen.
lets you know what China hitting for.
I think it
You know
was
what I'm
because
saying?
of retaliation with Trump, because they with that TikTok situation, that's cutting off a lot of their money because I mean they have 1 billion people there, but a lot of Americans been using TikTok and they've been using it for like business to like it could be for anything like if you're like a comedian, you can what I'm saying you can put your jokes and people can react to them, or it could be
Everybody got
music,
TikTok.
or it could be business. You could be selling something. People have generated sales off TikTok.
Yeah,
So
TikTok new ways.
With Trump cutting that off, that like it's a huge impact on China's I would say like economy. Like that's a huge impact. So I can't say it's facts, but I personally think that it's a retaliation. So
That is funny. Man said Chinese women got cheeks and got banned.
yes,
Yeah,
bro.
that's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
why.
That's
that's just
a
crazy.
That's
compliment.
why. Listen. Ty Lawson, I'm looking to the camera. Ty Lawson, let this be a lesson to you. Black men, we only love black women. So don't be talking about Chinese women cheeks because it's gonna get you in trouble.
How do you feel about that, Max? Because I feel that you want to say something. I just
What
want to
about
know
about us being black
Why you
women?
pick
thought
on me?
process.
Why you want to
How
pick
do you
on
feel
me?
about that comment from Wayne Nichols? How do you
If
feel
you
about
You know
if
how I
you
feel about that comment.
if
You
you
know how I
disagree,
feel about
listen.
that.
Before Matt
You
says
know how I
anything,
feel about that.
before Matt says anything,
You
I'm
know
gonna throw
how I
this out
feel
there.
about
I'm
that.
gonna throw this out there. I'm
You
gonna throw this out there.
instigator.
I'm
Hey,
gonna throw this out
Jose, you
there.
wild for
Jose
that.
is
Don't do
instigating
that.
because we had this conversation last night. But I'm gonna throw this out there before Matt. If you're a black
You
man,
know how I feel
if
about
you're a
that.
black man and you don't rock with black women,
I'm like Ty Lawson, man.
you
What you
support
mean?
all lives. You support
whoa,
all lives matter. All listen, all
Hold on,
lives
hold on,
matter.
whoa,
All
My
lives.
nails about to
Hey,
go
hey,
somewhere
Gary,
now.
whoa.
watch this.
Hold on, bro.
Jose, listen.
Hold
Jose, listen.
on.
It's not all lives matter. It's all wives matter. No, all wives don't matter. Only black wives.
First of all, let's put it in this proper context now.
Only black wives.
Because you
Black
established
wives
something.
matter. Black
First of
wives matter.
all,
Black wives matter. Black
all
wives matter.
lives. We know that's like a all lives, man. Stupid. That's an oxymoron. We're not even talking about that. First of all, we know why people started making all lives matter just to throw salt on a movement. We know when Black Lives Matter, it was kids getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Tamir Rice. Oh,
It's a
listen.
troll movement. I'm trolling. Go ahead. Speak on
No.
the
You're
black
fine.
wives
You're
thing.
fine. But let's keep it. We know all out outside of outside of police brutality and all that. We know all out. That had nothing to do with when people were starting to say, "Oh, when Kaepernick was kneeling, taking a stand, Black Lives Matter," and then people wanted to throw salt and make it into like more than what it was, and you ain't got to get into all that. But that's yeah.
Of
Like,
course.
yeah. So then when people started saying, well, all lives matter, and it got crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It got crazy.
It did. But let's go back to the topic at hand. Let's talk about these black women. These black men loving black women. We had a good conversation last night about it.
No, it was a great conversation.
Let's go there. Let's rehash the conversation.
That's only the prep for the show. Go ahead.
You want me to start?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So me and Max had a conversation last night, a long conversation about relationships, right? So my stance on it, right? This is just me speaking. But as a pro-black man who's very pro-black and who's all about black love and black this unity of the black family.
Okay.
I can only be with a black woman. That's me. And it's layers to it why I say that. It's layers to it. There's a historical factor to the point where I don't know if I could bring a woman who's not black into my household because I don't want to think about what they may have to deal with my not even what they think per se. I wouldn't want to have a mate and to bring her into a household where she has to deal with what's my family gonna think? Is my family gonna be accepting of you? Right? So I don't want to put her in a situation where she has to deal with that. And I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna come around as much because I don't want to deal with whatever, right? So that's one thing. Two, it's hard being a black man in America, just in general. And when I deal with racial trauma from being a black man, I want to know that I could go home to my mate and say, hey, this is what happened. And I want you to be able to understand have a shared experience with me on that level. If I were to be with a white woman, they could never fully understand what that would be like. They can empathize with me, but they can never put themselves in my shoes because they will never have that experience. But again, that's a personal thing. That's something something I need. I don't know if everybody needs that per se. That's something I need though. I need that. So that's just some of the levels of dealing with. And listen, there too, like having to deal with the stigma of Dwayne, how do you call yourself being pro-black and being pro-black love and pro all these other things, but you have a white significant other? To me, it comes off
are you
conflicting.
telling me that if you have a white wife,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Be pro-black. No,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for me, it's hard for me to say I'm pro-black.
No,
love.
People
I'm pro-black. People do it. People do it. Listen, people in the woke community call me out for being a lighter skin. So I can only imagine a light-skinned black man calling himself woke, having a white girlfriend,
that's my point.
saying I'm pro-black and I'm pro-black love. I can just imagine. I can imagine ridicule.
But you understand what I was saying though, as well. I was saying like I only can go with that, but so much because I might be all about black people and I might like different races of women. So I'm exiled because of that. Because I'm, thrown away because of that. It's like
by no means.
What I'm saying?
Listen, I love and I'm attracted to all types of women. I just couldn't be with this woman as my partner, my spouse, whatever. I couldn't do it.
Well, I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about people that are very extreme in their views as far as
people are very extreme.
As far as the women that
Dr. Umar.
Go ahead. What you say?
Like Dr. Umar.
Yeah, like some dudes are very extreme. Like you can be all for black people, but as soon as you do something, one of those guys, as soon as you do something wrong or what they don't see as right, they're like, listen, you like white women, you like Hispanic women, you like Asian women, so you can't be with you can't be woke, you can't be with us anymore. That's how they do you. They just throw you to the side. You know what I'm saying? You might be doing a lot for the black community, but just because of what you like. You know what I'm saying? I can't vibe with that. You know what I mean? And it's not just with it's not just with the women you like. It's other things too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know that. I think that's a part of it. I don't know if Jose was on this part of the conversation we had last night. What's your take on it, Jose?
I had to make my rounds. I had a couple calls come through. I had to take care of them calls. So
what's your take on it, Jose? And I want your take because your cultural background is different, so I know you'll see it different.
I'm gonna say this. Me personally, I feel like I need to be with somebody that's gonna understand me. So I feel like a Hispanic woman or a black woman, they're gonna understand me more. I would say like with the black woman, they're gonna understand me because of my the things that I go through because of the color of my skin. But it's also beautiful to have someone that understands your culture. So like say if I want to order like plantains, or I want to order like arroz con pollo, or you know what I'm saying,
You hungry?
it's satisfying to know like, okay, this person understands like my culture, my background. They understand like why my parents came to America. They understands the hard work and and the values as far as like how some foreigners come here, how hard they work. They understand that. In my position, sometimes I feel like how can I say this? Because I don't want to be like disrespectful. Sometimes I feel like some black women, they don't understand like the background or the culture that I do have, and they don't realize the hard work that my grandmother put, you know what I'm saying, into this world and what she sacrificed. So it's like some things like I don't really care, but like black women may make jokes about, you know, Spanish people. You see what I'm saying? But like if I'm dealing with somebody that understands my background, they're not gonna make them jokes. They gonna understand. So if I say like, yo, I want some rice and beans, like if I want rice with lentils, and they come from my same background, they gonna understand that. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna cook you some rice and beans. You see what I'm saying? But if I'm dealing with like an African American, they might find that like funny or flabbergasting or joking.
Nigga Wayne
And
laughing. That's
I
why.
don't,
See,
I don't, and
Wayne
you know what I'm
laughing.
saying? Like, I
No,
don't
why you
really take.
laughing? No, listen.
No,
You
listen.
being
No,
wrong.
I'm just
No,
coming.
He
I'm
trying
just
to
coming.
no,
talk like
Hold
you
on, hold on,
being
no,
hold on,
wrong,
hold on.
no,
Listen,
no, I'm not. I
No,
thought about
listen.
something funny.
We got
You
to.
gotta allow me to finish. I'm
No,
just
let him
coming.
finish. Let him finish.
Yeah,
That's why I say that.
I'm just coming from my experiences. You see what I'm
He
saying?
being
I can't speak
disrespectful.
for.
I'm not.
I
I didn't
can't.
say nothing.
I
I didn't
can't
say
speak for.
nothing.
And you know,
I was
Max.
just
You
playing.
know
I was
what's
just
crazy?
playing. I'm
Listen,
just
but
joking.
listen, Max.
You good.
You know what's crazy is it's hard for you to understand because you don't come. Listen, I'm for
No, I'm
real.
listening. I'm listening.
It's hard for somebody
You call me out.
that doesn't have a Hispanic background to understand that. If I'm
You calling
dealing
me
with
out?
a say for I don't want to like throw people under the bus.
You threw me under the bus,
But
bro. Wait,
I didn't throw you under the bus. No, I
oh, you
didn't.
talking about so? Yeah, it's hard for people to understand. You're like, hey, bro, that's way laughing. Go ahead. What you
Oh
No,
saying?
God, but finish,
but
please.
listen. You see how y'all
He
laughing?
laughing the whole
No,
time you
no,
talking, bro.
no,
Okay,
I'm
We
laughing
got
about
off
something
listen.
else.
air, like we on air right now.
Listen. I'm gonna give
I'm
you a
laughing about something else.
situation. I'm gonna give you an example. So I know somebody that I met a couple years ago, right? And
We ain't drunk, man.
she
I
hold
ain't
on,
drunk.
listen.
I'm listening.
She's African American, but she went to, I want to say it was
Yo,
she
what's
went
wrong
to
with this
Peru.
guy? This guy.
Hold on, listen. She
They
went to
can't finish.
Peru for 3 years, and she worked with the Peace Corps. So she had to live with she had to live with a Hispanic family. She had to learn the language and she had to learn the culture. So it was like when me and her are having conversations, and I'm saying like, she's like, "What's my favorite meal?" And I'm saying like lentils and rice. It's like she's like, "Oh, okay." Like I like lentils and rice too because she's been in that situation compared to somebody that didn't grow up with a Hispanic background. They might not like plantains. They might not like lentils and rice. So there could be like differences when it comes to like, that's just like when it comes to food. You see what I'm saying? There could be differences. I had
Right.
another chick last year. She
Supposed
tried
to
to
be
tell
Vietnam.
me that I wasn't black because of my ethnicity. And she
Exactly.
tried to
That's
say
my
that I couldn't
point,
say the
though.
N-word. So it was like differences because I don't think she really understand. Like I'm like, if you look at the color of my skin, I'm black. But it's just like
But that's
relating
my
to you
point
guys,
too.
I just got a different background. Like my parents just did things differently. That's it. But
Can I make this
but the
point,
color of my
please?
skin is still black. I'm not white. You see what I'm saying?
Let Max make his point.
Go ahead.
That's my point, though. You make a good point because it's like it's almost like a damn if you do, damn if you don't, like a catch-22 type of thing. Because like you said, you can be, on the Hispanic side, you have prejudices. On the black side, you have prejudices. So I'm like, man, I'm on a base like, man, live your life, man. Only God can judge you at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know we talk about all these different topics and things like that, but it seems like in your own, with your own people, sometimes you come across the most, having the most issues with your own, let alone, facing, what I mean, like the powers that be, facing the people that are in control of a lot of this. You run into problems with your own community. You know what I'm saying? So as I get older, my thinking is changing. You know what I'm saying, by the day, and I'm not thinking like just like, okay, I gotta do, I gotta be pro-black. I gotta, and it's cool. Like I'm cool with ruffling a few feathers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, I'm starting to see through the BS. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see through the BS because we talked about it. Like, you're gonna have issues in the brown community, the black community. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I date outside my race, then I'm not black enough. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, I'm kind of, and that's just where I'm at with everything. You know what I mean?
I want to read something that Kim said. Kim King. She stated that all struggles come from the same, all cultures come from the same type of struggles. Anyone can understand and sympathize no matter what the background. She said maybe you're pointing out a specific female. That's false.
From your experience.
And listen, hold on, but listen.
You did just went on like 4 or 5 experiences.
But listen, we had a conversation.
But I agree with you though.
Hold on, Max. Hold on. We had a conversation yesterday, right? You remember when we were talking, we had a conversation and you said being a black man is one of the hardest things in America, right?
I think it's the hardest thing to be
like Wayne said, and I disagreed, and I said that being a black Spanish man that doesn't know the language is like the hardest thing, because racist white people are not going to like you, number one. Black people are going to say that you're not black because you don't come from an African American background, and then Spanish people, they're going to say that you're not Spanish because you don't look like them. So it's like when I go out in the world, it's like I'm fighting racist white people.
Listen.
I'm
This is the
fighting
thing, though.
black people.
But listen, this is the thing, though.
I'm fighting people that are saying that I'm not black.
This is the thing, though. This is the difference.
Hold on. Let me finish.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I got a rebuttal.
I'm going with you, Jose.
And Hispanic
listen, I'm about to rebuttal, though.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying.
One of the issues you're bringing up is an issue that you can control.
That's something that I can't control.
No, you brought up an issue of not knowing your native language. You can learn your native language.
But even if I still knew the native language, some black people still.
But no, I'm not talking about the black people. One of your issues. No, but I'm saying no. One of your issues was the issue of the Spanish people don't accept me because I don't know the native language. You can learn the native language.
But Wayne, you know what I'm talking about.
This is
some white Spaniards are not going to accept you because of the color of your skin.
You're talking about people. You're talking about white people, though. Those are white people. Those are.
But they're still Spanish people. They come from the same. Native land that I come from.
Listen, we find those things in all communities. Even for me, my mother and my father are black. And I face struggles in the African American community by being light skinned. So
it's not the same.
But that's my point too. You can't please people, y'all.
But listen, it's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same. But listen,
you're not black. You can't say the N word.
This is what I'm saying, though. The issues are always gonna be different, but one of the issues you bring up is an issue that's under your control. The issue of me being light-skinned and me being judged in the African community is out of my control. I don't control my skin tone.
But nobody has came to you and said, "Hey, Wayne, you can't say the N-word." Like, people came to me and say, "Like, yo, you can't say the N-word." And I'm like, "Bro, look at my skin." Like, what are you talking about?
Has anybody ever came to you and said, "Is your mother white or your daddy white?"
No.
They're different struggles. There always be different struggles.
But Wayne, I got a question though.
Yeah.
So, when people asking you, are your parents, white or whatever the case, white or black? So it doesn't matter when police brutality or we're marching for something. It doesn't. All that goes out the window now. Like, we all together. It's
the thing about it, it go out the window. And I think this is a big thing. It go out the window because at the end of the day, if you ain't white, they all looking at you the same way anyway.
But to us, it's what I'm saying. Like, okay, that's cool. But I'm saying with us, it's like it's different. you know, when we fighting for a cause, so we ain't got time to be dealing with that. But I'm gonna come back to you. You know, I'm a you know, just because you light skinned, I'm gonna come back to you. But right now, we fighting against police brutality. We got a protest, so you're black now. So I'm saying it's like, so it's different. It's like, so we pick and choose when the time to be black or not.
I
Like, you know what I
disagree
mean? Like,
I agree with that too. I think this.
I'm just asking. It's just a question.
I disagree because it
No, I'm asking a
depends on the
question.
way you was brought up. I was brought up the way that the color of my skin is black, but my ethnicity is Panamanian. So I know it's like I know
You have that-
myself. So it's
No,
like
what I'm saying is
I
this.
go
What I'm
out,
saying.
I'm
No, what
not
I'm saying is
picking
this.
and choosing. Like I
Right.
can't pick and choose. I can't be like one day I can't say that I'm gonna be Spanish and then another day I can't pick and choose.
That's the
Because when
intersection
I
though.
get pulled over by the police, they're
Right.
not gonna let me pick and choose. They're gonna say,
Right,
hey, you're black.
And listen, that's the case with all of us.
Point blank.
That's the case with all of us.
I'm just going to the straight.
That's the case with all of
literally
us.
had a conversation
That's the case
with
with
my
all of us.
brother, name is Javier, last name Rivera, was coming to his car from a park. The cop pulled up to him and asked for his ID. He says, I left it at home. The cop said, what's your first and last name? He said, Javier Rivera. The cop did not believe him and took him to jail. And then when they went to jail, when my mother brought the ID, they released him.
But listen,
You see what I'm saying?
I
that's an
want to say
example
something
of
though. I want to say
you
something
can't,
though.
like me and my brother, we can't choose.
Now, look,
we can't
but
see
I'm
like
saying,
one
none
day
of
we're
us
gonna
can
be
choose.
black and
None of us
one
can
day
choose.
we're gonna be. We can't.
None of us can
choose.
choose. But listen, I'm gonna say this though. I don't know if it's the case or not.
Yes.
Because I know Javier.
Yes.
Javier could have said my name is John Smith, and they would have took Javier to jail.
There you go. So that's an example
It
of.
didn't matter. It didn't matter
We
about him being
can't
Spanish,
choose if
white,
we
whatever.
Spanish or black. We
Black.
get pulled over.
Well, I'm not.
By let's say like someone that's racist. They don't give us a chance to choose. They automatically they choose
I'm not coming from that aspect. No, we know that.
I think
we
I know
know
what Matt's
that.
saying though.
I'm saying what I'm saying is this. I'm talking about within our own community. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
I'm glad Matt's
when
saying
we
too.
do the light skin, we do
answer that.
Yes. So if we're doing the light skin thing, like, okay, your parents are white, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like you because you're light skinned. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, does that take a back seat when we protesting and going against police brutality and things like that?
This is what I say. And this is where I stand on it. Because listen, what we're talking about now, we're getting into the realm of intersectionality, where you have people that fall into multiple categories of different things. Like Jose is Panamanian, Jose is black, Jose is male. There's going to be all these intersections of his identity that cross paths. Myself, I am black, I am male. And even if you go into your social class, I'm black, I'm male, I'm college educated, you know, and all these things, right? When it comes to me, like, man, I thought about this one day I was in a workshop and somebody asked, yo, what do you identify as first? And they asked everybody in the room. So there's a mixture in the room. So there's black men in the room, there's white men in the room, there's black females in the room, there's white females in the room. What do you identify as first, right? And for me, when you ask me what I identify as first, I identify as black first. Forget my gender, forget my class. I identify as black first because that's what everybody on the outside is going to judge me on first, right? Because listen, if I get pulled out of police, my male influence goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, being a male you have a level of privilege there by being a male. But when you're a black male and you're put in a position of authority, your male privilege is thrown out, regardless of who pulls you over. I could be pulled over by a white female, and my male privilege goes out the door at that moment because now I'm just black. I'm black. So with that being said, I identify as black first across the board, and I honestly feel like as black people, we just need to be careful about moving collectively. I feel like a lot of times in our community, we focus so on the intersections. I fit in over here, I fit in over here, I fit in over here,
Right.
and there's this constant battle. And like Jose said, Jose has a battle with people saying, "Can you use the N-word or not?" Because you come from a Hispanic background. When Jose is
I'm
clearly
gonna
black.
give you another example.
When
It comes to political issues, I've heard people say that I'm talking about close people they say, I don't think foreigners should be in the U.S. So it offends me because my parents are foreigners. So I'm like, if they didn't come here, I wouldn't be here. But it's like when sometimes when people are thinking, even if they're black or white, they just thinking about black and white. They're not thinking about the image. They're not like, oh, damn,
that's one thing.
That statement should offend everybody because this country was founded by foreigners.
Right. This is right, exactly.
This country was, listen, and I hate using that word, founded by foreigners, because the native people of this country were thrown off on the planet, were thrown off on the reservations.
But you know where I'm coming from.
I know you're coming from. No, but listen, that's my thing, though. People focus so much on narrative.
Look how the media treat Mexicans, right? So the country is so corrupt, right? They will literally say that, hey, Mexicans are raping women, they're killing people, they're doing all this. So it creates a bad stigma for Mexican people, and then it creates another bad stigma for Hispanic people. And then it's like, oh, well, you guys shouldn't be here anyway. So then I'm gonna take an offense to that because my mother is an actual foreigner. So it's like, it's not gonna affect you or Max because your mother's come from an African American background. You see what I'm saying?
I'm about to say something controversial.
Go ahead.
You know why people don't want Mexicans in the country?
You said what?
You know why people don't want Mexicans in the country?
Why's that?
Because they don't own Mexicans.
That's powerful.
Because they don't own fucking Mexicans.
So you saying 2/5? We go back to the 2/5.
If Mexicans were property and they were working for white people, they would be welcome here in boatloads. Like, come on over.
They come over here and start their own businesses and things like their own landscaping businesses.
Foreigners are welcome in America because foreigners aren't property in America.
And you know what, too? And you know what? It's easier for them to start a new, you know what I mean? It's easier for them to start a new business, get a new
let Jim Crow
restaurant.
Let new Jim Crow be instilled tomorrow, and it affects minorities that aren't black, and watch America be all for it.
Yeah, no, they come over here and hustle and grind, and it's easy. It's simpler for them to get the business and things like that. It's harder for us, but it's simpler for them.
Best believe our forefathers weren't saying the African American, not African Americans, the African servants, the African slaves aren't. Oh, they're taking our jobs. What do you mean? You didn't want the job. Y'all brought us here to do it.
Like, that shit really burns me up, bro.
Y'all brought us here to do it.
When I hear black people say that shit fucking burns me the fuck up. Because I'm saying, and it's like sometimes I don't think they realize it.
Immigrants don't deserve to be here.
I've literally heard that, and I've literally gotten to a big ass argument.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then they're like, "Oh, shit, it's like, no, bro, that's what the fuck you mean." Excuse my language, but it's
our show.
Whoa.
Yeah. But it burns me up because sometimes they when they look at me, they just like,
you got kids watching,
right? And then they'll say something about foreigners, and it's going to offend me because I knew the hard work and I knew.
Whoa, pause. What was that, man?
What?
Oh, what was that? You were here.
What I did?
You were here slurping shit up on the camera, yo. What is that?
Whoa, bro, you slurping.
You said what?
What?
You ain't zone?
Slur.
Whoa,
Wayne drunk.
Yeah, he did. I'm not. Oh, I'm sober now.
We can't let that
Wayne drunk. What?
Look, I'm sober now.
Listen, we can hit
the whole conversation.
Listen,
stop the whole conversation.
I'm listening to Jose talk. I don't know. Wayne drunk.
I was Matt started
slurping, bro. Come on, man.
Slurping what?
Hey,
I don't know what I'm slurping.
Kurt was talking the whole time. Like, I'm listening to him.
That's why I'm confused.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. But no, but just to get back on the point.
Go ahead.
But just to get back on the point, it really burns me up when I hear black people. I'm talking about like just African Americans. They say like, "Yo, we don't need no foreigners over here. They all need to go back to their country." Because that should affect me because I'm like, I literally had to explain to somebody like, yo, like if my grandmother and my mother and my aunt didn't come here, there would be no Curtis. So at that point, they're trying to retract their statement, but you already said it. So now I know how you actually feel about foreigners. So sometimes it's hard because it's like, even as black, you can be Jamaican, You could be Trinidadian. You could be a Black Dominican, or you could just be Black that comes from like a Caribbean or Central American background. But instead of like saying, I can't say all, but some African Americans, instead of like saying everybody come together, they divide us and say, no, you're not me. You see what I'm saying? So then it becomes hard to come together because things become so divisive, and we become so separated. Instead of us coming together and say like we all Black, they just divide us up.
Well, you know why they do that? They do that because people have bought into European divisiveness. Like that's across the board. Like, listen, they take European ideas about what people are. They make these monolithic statements about whole groups of people. Hispanics are lazy, well, which makes no sense, right? Like these, like you see all these groups of people coming over here doing jobs illegally for pennies on the dollar,
and doing it every day,
and doing it every day, sending all the money back home, right? And people swear to God like they're taking from the economy. How are they taking from the economy when y'all are monopolizing these people to do your work under the table, to build your stuff at faster rates? They get it done faster. They get it done cheaper. They get it done more effectively, and they get it done. And they don't want to say this. They get it done well, because best believe these guys are skilled laborers, and they don't play about their business.
Right.
But they create these false narratives. They try to demonize and make these people into animals. Oh, they're rapists. Like, what are you talking about? They're rapists. They're hyper predators. It's the same narrative they use for Black men a lot of times. It's the same thing. Just they're putting on somebody else. And what people don't realize is people are so quick to buy into it because instead of saying Black man in the blank, it says Hispanic person. It says Mexican person. So just because your name ain't in the blank today, you can buy into it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same bullshit. But people want to buy it. People still buy the bullshit.
We really could be a utopia. Like it should. You know how Black Panther is. All those people probably ain't from that same. They ain't from that same area. They probably come from different areas, and they all came together and they made something powerful. That's the same thing that we can actually do in America.
Hey. You know why Wakanda was so successful?
Why is that?
Because it was hidden. Hide that shit. You want Black people to be prosperous? Right. I know it's fake, but still, you want Black people to be prosperous and successful? Hide that shit. Hide that shit away from the world and don't let nobody know about it.
Yeah, of course.
Because if you let because when you let people know, you know what they do? They come in and fuck shit up.
Yep. No, that's just reality.
That's why Wakanda was hidden. You know what? They just hide over here. We're gonna hide over here and we're gonna thrive and prosper. Because if anybody know, they can come over here. They can try to put this up.
Yeah, I was reading something. I don't know if I shared it with y'all. It was like it's like these families in Georgia, built, bought all this land. Like they put like a couple thousand of each family. Yeah, each family put like a couple thousand up and got like 90 acres of land, something like that. Something.
It's something crazy. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, like a lot of acres or something. Like I forget the number, but yeah. So
that's crazy, bro.
It's people out here, trying to make things happen. Yeah.
You know it. All right, let's do this. Let's try to jump to something slightly lighter. Y'all want to hit? Oh, NFL's back.
Yeah.
The football's back. Period. NFL's back and NCAA's back.
NFL's back, man. The Eagles is.
It's week 1, so I would have to see. Like I would say after week 4, we would know like who's the hot team and who's not, because we had no preseason games. Practice was probably cut short. So like I saw a lot of receivers with high numbers. I really didn't even see no running backs with no high numbers at all. Not really.
You know what's crazy?
I think it's gonna be like week 4, like when things gonna like get to where they need to get to.
What you think about Cam? What you think about Cam debut?
I was happy for Cam, and I hate the Patriots. I was happy for Cam.
What y'all think about Cam debut?
I like it. I like it. Happy for the brother. Matter of fact, we had a record number of black quarterbacks starting in the league this year.
Yes.
In week 1. We had like 7, 8 starting black quarterbacks.
Oh yeah.
That was more than that.
Was it more? What is it? What's the number?
It was 14, bro.
Was it
Wow.
14? It might. Damn, let's look it up.
Wow.
It was crazy though, starting black quarterbacks.
Yeah, it was like 14, bro.
No, I wasn't 14. It was 10.
Okay, 10. Okay.
10 starters.
Wow.
Shoot, that's great.
No,
Record
that's
number.
awesome. That
Record
is awesome.
number.
But yeah, I'm you know, I'm gonna stay tuned, man. See what's going on in the NFL, man.
I'm gonna say this though, Cleveland gonna have to they're gonna have to get another quarterback because Baker Mayfield
it's not Baker's fault.
They're gonna trade. Are they gonna trade OBJ?
Bro, I'm telling you now.
It's not Baker. It's Baker
Mayfield.
It's not
bro.
Baker.
He's not that guy.
Listen,
Are they gonna trade? Are they gonna trade?
Cleveland
OBJ?
has had what 20 quarterbacks in the last.
Man, they've had listen.
It's not the quarterback.
Under Baker Mayfield, there's been 3 different coaches.
That's my thing. Is it his fault that he has 3 different coaches?
So Max, you're a sports guy, right?
Yeah.
All right. So say for example, you got a point guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
The point guard's had 3 different coaches, but he still produces the same number. Say he only averaged 4 assists a game.
But I'm saying, is that the point guard's fault? Is that because I got 3 different coaches telling me to do 3 different things?
Is it the point guard's fault, or is it after 3 coaches now? 3 different coaches.
Why do you think he keep getting different coaches?
Listen, if you do the same thing over and over, that is called insanity, right? So all the other positions.
So maybe this then. Doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. So why is it the quarterback's fault and not the GM's fault for always replacing their head coach?
Because they've changed the running backs. They've upgraded running backs. They've upgraded receivers. They've upgraded tight ends. They've upgraded on defense. The only position that they haven't changed is the quarterback.
But listen.
So they don't have
consistent. But you don't have consistent coaching. If you don't have consistent leadership, I don't care how good the team is, you're gonna lose.
But I'm just saying, listen, talent gonna get you. And
talent won't do it. Talent alone won't do it.
Listen,
talent alone don't do it. Bad coaching.
If you plugged Russell Wilson in there, that offense is going to thrive.
But I'm going to tell you something though. But listen. But you know what? But listen,
offense will thrive.
Who's been Russell Wilson's coach his entire career? Pete Carroll has been his coach the entire career. Replace Seattle's head coach every year and see how bad Seattle gets.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
Russell Wilson has consistent coaching. He has consistent staff. He has consistency. Baker Mayfield has no consistency. New personnel, new wide receivers, new running back. So as a quarterback, I'm the person the ball goes to every time. And I'm learning new personnel, and I got a new coach telling me what to do with new personnel.
But you gotta think, Baker.
Learning. That's the thing. But I'm learning new offense every year. You want me to be good? How?
Russell Wilson has had less talent and done more.
But listen,
he's had less talent and done more.
It's less talent, but it's also consistent talent. I've been with you 5, 6 seasons, and I know you. Look at the same thing, Tom Brady. Tom Brady don't have elite wide receivers. Outside of that season, he had Randy Moss in there. He has.
Listen, how you have Odell Beckham and he has 22 yards on 3 catches? How?
He got to catch it.
You're underthrowing. You're overthrowing.
He still got to catch it.
Something ain't right.
He still got to catch it.
The ball got to get there. The ball got to get to his vicinity.
I'm not blaming Baker Mayfield. I can't solely blame Baker Mayfield.
There's no way in the flipping yippee-yi-yo that Odell should have 22 yards in the game. Impossible.
I'm not blaming Baker Mayfield for that.
In another offense, he gonna thrive.
I'm not blaming.
Top 5 receivers.
I'm not blaming Baker Mayfield for that. You playing for the listen. One. Baker Mayfield is 25 years old. 25. Thrown into the fire.
Put Almighty Joe and Baker listen. Even though Joe Burrows is 0-2, he is better than Baker Mayfield.
But listen, you're comparing apples to oranges.
No,
but he's
better hands down.
But listen,
hands down.
But listen, he's better than a lot of quarterbacks. That don't mean there's a system. It's a system. There's a lot that goes into that.
If I was the only player, I'm getting rid of Baker Mayfield, bro. I'm getting rid of him.
And guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna bring another quarterback in. They're gonna replace the coach, and he's gonna be bad too.
Listen.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you about this then. Let me ask you
I
about
would
this.
have got Alex Smith, and I would have started Alex Smith over.
Alex Smith is gonna get eaten up in Cleveland.
I'm putting Alex Smith in that position.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
When RG3 goes to Cleveland, what happens?
Okay.
What happens to RG3 when he goes to Cleveland?
He got hurt, but they didn't
Why
have
did he get hurt?
Firepower.
Why did he get hurt?
Name the running back that played with RG3.
Name the one that played for me in Washington.
Name what's his name? Clinton Portis.
Was Clinton Portis a wide receiver? Was the running back?
I think Clinton Portis was still there.
Listen. RG3 did not have great personnel in Washington. Had an amazing season. Goes to Cleveland.
Listen, and name a wide receiver when he was with Cleveland. You can't even name one.
But that's my point.
If you put that RG3
Cleveland is a bad team.
No, they're not.
The quarterback is bad. They have bad coaching. You say the quarterback is bad now because they have all-star personnel on their team. You say that now. You say it now because they have
Baker Mayfield played a whole season, right? And I allowed him to make mistakes. I'm like, he's a rookie. This is year 2. He's making the same mistakes. I saw the game.
It's Cleveland.
I'm literally watching the game, and I'm like, bro, you're underthrowing, you're overthrowing, you're not looking at your checkdowns. Like, you're just not reading you're not reading the defense, bro. Like he's not. And that's why the ESPN analysts are getting on Baker Mayfield because everybody talks about how he won the Heisman.
Let's look at Baker Mayfield in comparison to other quarterbacks in Cleveland. Let's look. Baker Mayfield has 52 touchdowns to 37 interceptions. Like that's leaps and bounds above any quarterback Cleveland has had in the last 2 decades. 52 touchdowns in comparison to 37 picks.
Remember Johnny Man?
61.4 completion percentage. Baker, it's not Baker. It's really not Baker Mayfield. It's not. He's playing for a terrible team.
Yo,
and he has terrible coach. Johnny Manziel, another guy. Listen, I don't care who you drop in the offense. You drop a nigga in the offense, you drop a nigga in the offense with no leadership. They're gonna be trash. You're gonna be trash.
That guy, though.
You're gonna be trash playing for Cleveland. It's the personnel. I blame the personnel. Yeah, you can have the best team in the world. If your coaching staff is trash, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. I can't blame Baker. I can't blame Baker for that. I can't blame him for that alone. I ain't saying he's faultless, but it's not just his fault. There's a lot of factors going into that. Oh,
Wayne is 109 to 103. Boston up.
What's time left?
103 left in the 4th.
Boston should pull it out, then.
Yeah, they should pull it out. They might go to 7. I think they can.
It's going to go to 7. Listen. Dwayne Nettles, he claims that he's the wizard, but I'm really the wizard.
I picked LA in the finals.
I got LA winning the whole thing.
Your team is out.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I'm gonna just go say LA won the whole thing.
LA taking it out. LA taking the chip this year.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna play around with it.
LA's taking the chip this year. This series, LA in 5. Next series, LA in 6. Regardless who plays. All right, let's see what we got. NCAA. NCAA's back. How we feel about NCAA?
I see all these coaches getting. I mean, I see all these. I think I saw a program saying they're not going to even play this year. Coach just got.
Florida State coach that got COVID-19. He doesn't have the sickness, but it's like the coach was around the players. So how do you prepare for that? Because you could test negative now, and then you could test positive 5 days later. That's a fact.
I'm about to
So
throw
it's
this
like,
out there.
what do you do? So you're telling
I'm
me
about,
that you're going to
look,
allow the players to play other teams,
I'm about to throw this
and
out
then
there. Listen,
and then if the players test positive, what are you going to do after that?
listen, I'm gonna throw this out there. Listen, this is what's about to happen. As a guy with my 9 to 5, I work on a large D1 campus. Week 1, students come back, 500 cases. Week 2, students are back, 1,000 cases. Week
Okay.
3, students are back, 1,500 cases.
Okay.
I can't speak for every campus, but the campus I work on, that's what I'm seeing. So I can only imagine similar campuses around the country have similar issues. So now we have a head coach of a large D1 school with coronavirus. Right? We're talking about football. We're not talking small non-contact sport. We're talking full contact sport. We're talking about the head coach's coronavirus. I give it, listen, week 4, we about to have an issue. At the latest, we're gonna have an issue on somebody's campus where players are breaking out with coronavirus. I don't see it, yeah. I don't see this. I don't see the season going down effectively without players being exposed. And actually can actually, it's one thing to be exposed, it's another thing to be, be exposed and getting it. You know what I'm saying? And we see already the Big Ten initially, initially Big Ten, like, we're not having a season. They folded. They back in the fray. We're gonna play under pressure.
Yeah, you don't see it.
I don't see it, guys.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
see
you don't think the season gonna finish out strong.
I don't see the season going down without a hiccup. This is not the NBA bubble. Let's say that this is not the NBA bubble.
This is not baseball.
This is not containable. This is not containable. You're talking about teams rosters of 50 plus people apiece traveling across the country to play a very high contact sport. I don't see it.
But the NFL, what you think? So, what do you think the NFL gonna do?
I'm not even sure. Listen, I'm not even sure the NFL. Like, just because of the nature of football, I don't see it. I don't know how to say it. And this the NFL is slightly safer because I don't have the added factor of you being a college student. College students are gonna be college students, point blank period. They're going out, they're hanging around, they're hanging with other people. They're gonna do it. They're going to do it. At least with NFL, I had the benefit of the doubt of that. Okay, y'all are adults. This is your job. But I don't trust that either.
Right.
I trust the NFL slightly more than NCAA.
So so listen, I'm gonna give you a couple of numbers, Wayne, with the COVID-19 new cases. California today 3,117. Texas 3,178.
Shut it down.
Florida 3,573. Georgia 2,284. Illinois 2,529. North Carolina 1,229. So
you can stop. You can stop.
922.
You can stop there. Listen, you just named multiple states with thousands plus new cases. 1,000 plus. And listen, 3 of those states are in the SEC. Florida, Georgia, South Carolina is approaching 1,000 new cases. Bruh. This is I don't want it to happen, but this is gonna be this is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
I don't know how they're gonna do this. Let me just be honest with you.
Listen, I know how they're gonna do it. I don't know how they're gonna do it safely. Is the thing. That's the thing. Well, listen, all I can do is send prayers up. Hopefully things go off without hitch. I just don't see it. But look, cheers to football because people need their football.
Yeah.
Oh man, who else been in the news? Oh, what's up with our guy, friend of the show, Kanye West?
That's my guy, man. He been coming out with a lot of.
He my guy too, but every time I look,
he been coming out with a lot of truth though, man. Even though he got to keep Drake, he got to keep Drake out of his mouth though. He got to keep Drake out of his mouth.
Max, I'm gonna say this though. Every time he says something, I'm like, oh, I feel that. 5 other things that like, damn, Kanye, why you say
that? Yeah. Like, leave Drake alone, man. He just like stop talking about Drake, please.
Drake,
I love Kanye. That's my guy. Like, like saying a lot of
Look, Kanye,
but like you said,
Kanye, his masters, his quote unquote his masters. That's funny. Kanye,
yo,
slavery was a choice,
out of
but now we're
like
talking about
12
listen,
things,
slavery was a
hey,
choice,
yo.
but now we're talking about Kanye's masters.
Over something that you signed. Like, you signed that.
You know what's crazy? Because out of 12 things he may say, you might agree with like 4 or
You
5
might
of
agree.
them. You
Two,
know what I'm
three,
saying?
2, 3.
I agree that
Yeah, something
like
like
the
that.
record
Something like
labels
that.
are
5 the
raping the
most.
artists. And me and Dwayne, me and Max have had conversations like with Spotify as an independent artist. If you have 100,000 streams, you're only going to, that's like $200-300. There's no way the fuck you can survive off that. It's impossible. And you got to think about how much money Spotify is making. You see what I'm saying? They're making billions of dollars. Billions. Literally.
But you gotta understand too, like that's.
I understand where Kanye is coming from that point,
I
but
get that.
also as well, if a record label offered me $5 million right now, there's no hesitation at all. I am signing that deal, hands down.
But then again, too,
I'm not gonna be in the position that I'm in right now. I don't see myself being worth $5 million off
but
of
then
this
again, too,
by myself.
you gotta think this too, though. You gotta think this too, and the reason I say this is because I thought just watching the LeBron, that clip I shared with you guys earlier.
Okay.
If one label is willing to offer you $5 million, right?
Yes.
If a label looks at me and says this guy's worth $5 million, who's to say another label's not looking at me saying I'm worth 10?
That, I mean, I see, but what I'm telling you is you're gonna sign with somebody. You see what I'm saying?
But that's true. But
you ain't gonna just not
and
sit there and not
this is
do
another
it.
thing too. There's another thing too. You have to know what is your leverage, and what are you signing? Because if I have leverage, yes, I have options. I think a lot of these artists, what they do is they sign these deals, they make all this money, then they bitch and moan about, yo, I don't own my master. But listen, you have a lot more leverage now as an established artist who's been on this label for 10 plus years than you did as an independent artist before you signed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people like, I want the rights to my masters. But then too, like, they won't tell me the price. If I'm the owner of the masters, right? These are my masters, right? Yes, that's just your music. You create the content, but you knew I owned these, right? When you create this is going to be mine, right? So there's something, so we're talking from an ownership perspective. I own this catalog. Whether you made it or not, I own this catalog. You're asking me to name a price. There's not a price that I can offer. Because number one, depending on the catalog, there might not be a price. This catalog could potentially be priceless. Like, it's worth more to me. The royalties off of this music is worth more to me than a dollar amount. So
I agree.
there may not be a price, Kanye. There's not a dollar amount you could give me that makes it worth it for me. So him getting upset about them not offering a price, who's to say that Sony is willing to sell? You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about ownership at the end of the day, I own this. Like, why should you know what I'm saying? There may not be a price. That's crazy though. It's crazy. Our boy Kanye. All right. What else we got? Yo, got anything else? You got anything else, fellas? I know Jose got a hot date.
Listen, man.
He didn't try to get fly on this for his date. So I know we don't want to hold the guy up.
Player, like,
yeah.
Listen.
Look, you see them fresh parts?
Listen, man, we gotta end the show early because he going out on a date.
I ain't trying to listen. I get there when I get there, bro.
I hope Shorty.
It sounds good.
That sounds good now. When you off there and texting me like, man,
you trying to call? You trying to call? It's gonna go straight to voicemail.
That's funny. All right, let's do this.
I'm still pulling up.
You might pull up. Ain't gonna be nothing to pull up too though. Let's do this. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and try to wrap things up. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the shameless plug. What we got going on, fellas?
I'll say for me, gonna drop some music in October for sure, 100%. Me and Max, we got to work on the podcast record. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole bunch of content just ready to go. I just feel like with artists, with the pandemic, it was kind of hard to figure out what you're going to do if you don't have the funds or the budget for it long term. So if you have, say, you have 10,000, you say you got $3,000, right? You don't know how long this pandemic gonna last, so you put your $3,000 in that project and you don't generate that money back. It's like, okay, so what are you gonna do next? So I see the artists that are actually making moves. Those are the artists that they have the budget to continue doing what they need to do. And it's like the artists that I don't see making moves are the ones they're like, I don't want to put my last into this, and then like I'm just taking completely out. So I was in a tough spot because I'm like, I had content and music to drop, but it's like in order for you to build your fan base, you want to make sure that you have the budget to continue doing what you're doing. So that was like one of my, that was something hard that I had to deal with. And it's just, just saving my money and, just trying to, put myself in the right position. So I feel like things, they're kind of paying off a little bit. And I should be able to, finish out the project and, go from there. So
that's why this creative time. This when you gotta get creative, bro.
Yeah, it's real tough though, because it's like you really, it just depends on what type of situation you're in. Like me, it's kind of like I'm by myself, so it's not like I got like, I'm not saying I don't got friends, but it's like a lot of the times I'm like really thinking like, damn.
I was about to say Jose about to shit on this on live.
Nah.
Yeah,
But I live by myself, so like I live by myself. So it's like a lot of the
I ain't got no friends.
Damn, like it's like, what am I gonna do? And I think
no new friends.
No, but I'm just saying what got me through this was just being patient and persevering and basically having faith.
That's the name of the game.
So,
what you got going,
man.
Max?
Man, I'm looking forward to getting the studio with my man Jose.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to getting it when he, listen, man, we ain't talking too much, man. I'm just ready to go ahead and put everything out. So, that's how we moving, man. Simple as that.
Wayne, Max said he already had the song done already.
Oh, you know, Max moving secret though. Max moving silent.
Listen,
I ain't surprised.
I think that's like best for me. I ain't got nothing to, you know what I'm saying?
Hey man, you know what? We gonna FaceTime Wayne.
Oh yeah,
in the studio. So
I got a shameless plug, man. I've been doing this for years.
Don't plug it.
I've been doing this for years, and I forgot to say about it last. We was talking about our beginnings and stuff like that, man. I've been looking out for a lot of artists through the years, man. And I kind of been like, I wouldn't say A&R. I wouldn't say A&R, but I kind of like.
I've been A&R. I've been ghostwriting.
Nah, not even A&R, but I just been helping a lot of artists for the last few years. And just saying, that's what I've been up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been helping a lot of artists, not just working with Jose. We go out to these showcases and things, me and Dish and things like that, collabing and networking. So, man, shout out to them because they've been asking, can they get on the show? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I'm plugging them.
We got a lot of inquiries.
Hey man, we're gonna have to start charging.
Man, shout out to them though, man.
We gotta start charging, bro.
Listen, this Jose.
Yo,
it depends. Listen, this is a love platform.
A lot of dudes is like, yo, can I get on the show, man? I've been, throwing them up on the gram and like, yo, can we go on the show? So I'm sending them, letting y'all check out the music, man. Let y'all see what y'all think.
We got some things.
I'm doing my part, man.
We got some things in the works. And I'm glad you say that, Matt. So my shameless plug is not even shameless because we're gonna talk with some other people. So we got some things in the works. Mm-hmm. Got some guests coming up pretty soon. Some old friends gonna be making guest spots on the podcast. Some new friends making guest spots on the podcast. So we have that coming up. The following's growing, so we appreciate the followers. Always appreciate the followers. Appreciate the live support. But also with me, been a really hectic but good, I would say. Week, a lot of shows this past week. Had 3 shows this past week. Listen. Grind ain't the word, bro. It's been going on the road this week, man.
You ain't been shot at this show after show after show.
Been on the road this week. Had a show on Sunday, show on Tuesday, show on Thursday. Had my first out of town show. Was in Charleston this past Thursday. Went very well. I pissed my first table off during the show. That's a success.
Yes, sir.
Pissed my
Piss
first
them
table off.
off.
So that was a success.
How you gotta talk about that. What happened?
All right, so I mostly perform for mostly white venues. 9 times out of 10, it's mostly white venues a lot of times. Not by choice. It just happens that way a lot of times. So this venue was invited by a good friend of mine that I met on the comedy scene. Shout out to Alex Baldoff inviting me down to Charleston this past Thursday. So there were two black comics in front of me, right? And anybody from South Carolina knows, like, a lot of people in Charleston. Charleston is a culturally rich place in South Carolina. So there's still what they call Geechee people in Charleston. So they have a very it's very similar to Haitian West African dialect in Charleston. So a lot of black people speak in that dialect. So two of the comics went up before me. They had a very, very strong Geechee accent when they went up on stage. So I'm in the back laughing at materials. Material's good. Like both great comments, both really good comments. So I got on stage, and what I like to do, my material is very, even though I perform to white crowds a lot, my material is very black. But whenever I see black people in the crowd, I like to bring the black people into my show. So there's a table of black guys at the show. So I was going to share a joke with the black table that only me and the black table would get. So it was going to be a bonding moment for the black people at the show. We're going to bond together and laugh at the jokes that none of the white people understand. So that's just what I do. That's what I like to do. So I told the joke. I was like them boy from the Chuck. So I used my Geechee accent, right? And I was like, yo, I like them boys got jokes that come with subtitles.
Oh my God,
man. It ain't go over too well.
Listen. The people that went with them laughed. They didn't laugh, and they left.
They left?
No, they could have got the shooters, Wayne.
They could have got the shooters. Listen. I'm gonna tell you something. They could have got the shooters, but listen, this is what I say about it, right? Because I've been in crowds I've been in plenty of crowds where comedians on stage have taken comedic shots at me. But I'm a comedian. So I can't tell jokes and not take jokes.
I see.
So I'm like, oh, y'all can't take a light joke between number two. I'm never about disrespecting anybody, making fun of anybody, because I know this is a joke that only your table and me is going to get. Because the white people didn't know what I was talking about. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm sorry that y'all didn't take the joke. But kept the show going. White crowd left. That's all I can say about that.
So they got mad because you said,
let me say this. I can't say they got mad. I can't say they got mad per se. I don't know if they got mad or if they just weren't supportive. Because I've also seen this. I've seen a lot of black comics not support other comics where after they go up. So it could have also been a case of where my set's done, me and my crew out. Because I've seen this at multiple shows too. I've seen plenty of comics down stage, them and their crew dip immediately after they're done, don't mingle, and then it says, I don't know. I can't call it.
So they were the two comics.
I think it was one. I think one of the ones that already left. It was one.
But I'm saying they left like right during or right after the joke.
Right after my joke, they table dip.
Okay. So they may have not been feeling the joke or whatever the case may be.
I can't call it because I didn't have a conversation with them afterwards.
Right. But it definitely was like, this guy.
It was perceived that way, but in my opinion.
But and they be a lot of comedic. Listen. But the thing about it too, and from hearing other comedians, do interviews, it's a lot of hate in the comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm glad you said that, man. It is because I'm not gonna share the story on the air, but I'll share it after we go up there.
It's a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying? From hearing comics talk, it's a lot of hate.
I have a personal story.
A lot of biting, a lot of copying.
A lot of biting, a lot of hating, a lot of jealousy. You see a lot of stuff. You see a lot of stuff.
See, you know, like I say, you have to be that way.
This is my thing, though. This is my thing. I had a long conversation with somebody about it a couple of days ago. I guess I'll tell them about the situation, and I guess this kind of see my headspace was. So I just told them straight. I was like, listen, this is my headspace, right? I look at my comedy as a job, right? And my job description is 2 things on my job description for me. Number 1, make people laugh. That's 1. And 2 is to perfect my craft. Those are my 2 things. When I walk into any venue, the 2 things I'm trying to do is make people laugh and perfect my craft. If I'm doing those 2 things, I've accomplished the goals I have for myself.
Right.
Now, how I go about doing that is I'm respectful to everybody. I treat people the right way. I support people, and I come out to learn. Those are my things, right? I could care less what everybody's doing. You like me, you don't like me, whatever. I don't care. I don't care the venue. I don't care what the demographic looks like. I don't care if it's an all-white venue. I don't care if it's an all-black venue.
Yeah, that's right.
At the end of the day, my job is to tell jokes, make people laugh, and hopefully somebody's gonna learn something when I leave there. Those are my goals, right?
Yeah.
And so I care less who's in the building. Those are my things I want to accomplish, right? And I want to get better at what I do. And I do it. I treat it the right way. So I do what I need to do to make that happen. I do what I need to do to make that happen. But with that being said, grind don't stop. So
it's
I'll be performing.
Oh.
I'll be performing. Now I got my last plug. I ain't got my plug yet. Tuesday, R&B Grill in Columbia, like always. To be there on Tuesday. Following Sunday, I'll be performing as a part of the first warehouse comedy show. It's going to be a live stream show out of a warehouse. Look forward to that. I'll be dropping the link really soon for that show. And then I'll be featured on with my partner, Sauce Got Jokes, presenting What's Happening, Volume 2. I'll be a featured comic on that show at the Gold Den on October 3rd, the following Saturday. So catch me on that. Tickets are $10. If you're in the Columbia area, check it out. I'll be dishing some old material, some new material, but it hopes to be a good time, good show. Gonna be up there with a few other great comics. It should be a good time. But making these rounds, working on getting out of town a little bit more, hoping to go back to Charleston pretty soon. Hopefully I won't piss anybody off next time. If I do, my job is to make people laugh. As long as people laugh,
that's all that matters. Kurt, you up, man? You gotta give.
No, Kurt went last week. Kurt went last week.
Or you? I thought you went last week, man.
No, I was gonna do it, but Kurt had something already. He did a quote from.
Oh, so it's your turn.
I did it already. You're not paying attention, bro.
Yeah, my bad. My bad, Montclair.
You got something, Max? I got something. If you don't.
No, it's your turn.
All right, so I got.
You didn't do it last week. I'm next week.
Words of wisdom. For today, I'm going to share a short quote from James Baldwin. I am what time, circumstance, history have made of me, certainly, but I'm also much more than that. So are we all. So with that being said, it's been another great episode of Last in HipHop, episode 14. Thanks you guys for joining. Shout out to my brothers. This doesn't happen without the love of my brothers. We want to keep the grind going, like Jose spoke on earlier. It's a tough time with COVID, tough creative time, but we want to keep those creative juices flowing. We like to bring this to you guys every week as much as possible. We got some great things in store for you guys really soon. Some special guests coming up as we wrap up season 1. We'll probably take a short break, maybe a few weeks, just to build some new ideas, get some things revamped, to have you guys some great content coming. But again, be looking out for us on the Instagram page. If you're watching this now, if you're watching it live on Facebook, the comments pinned with our Instagram link. So please jump on, follow us if you're not following us now. Follow our individual pages at Mr. Nettles, at King Jose Rivera, at _Maximilian.s. Continue to show love. We love you. We appreciate you. And we hope to see you guys next week. Any final words, fellas?
Be blessed.
Yeah, man. Keep the hustle alive, man. That's all I can say, man.
All right. And on that note, we out. Peace.
Yeah.